focusing on increasing your leadership power to new levels of excellence. I want to start with a question first. How many of you have ever had a negative day as a leader? Raise your hands. How did you feel at the end of that negative day? Anybody? Drained, exhausted, tired, whatever degree that those are good descriptive terms. Now, how many of you have ever had a day as a leader that was very positive, one that just clicked? Raise your hands. For some of you in the back over there, let me rephrase this. How many had a moment as a leader that was positive? Now, on the positive day, how'd you feel at the end of that one? Anybody? Energized. Great. Whatever, those are also good descriptive terms. See, it's very real. Negative disaster days, you're physically, you're mentally, you're emotionally, you're drained and exhausted. Positive days, you're energized. So what if you could create every day to be a positive day for yourself? Let's not push it that far. What about last 4 hours? Last 4 hours on a disaster day, how effective are you as a leader, getting things done, communicating with your clients, with your staff, accomplishing what you'd like to see happen? What's the answer? It is not a pretty sight out there. What about last 4 hours in a very positive day? Doesn't all of that switch because you have the energy to bring to the experience? This session this morning is going to be about your personal energy system, how it operates and what can you do to make at least the last 4 hours of every day be very positive. We're going to do that by my sharing with you this technology that you're seeing on the screen called behavioral kinesiology. What kinesiology is muscle checking in the body. Everything around us affects us. Its effect is very direct, very immediate, and very dramatic. What you're going to see me do in a moment up here, it's going to look like a magic act here. You're going to be saying, this is impossible, can't be, it's totally real, and I'll be explaining what's happening in a few minutes. Now, to assist me in this part of the program, I need 3 of you to come up as volunteers. I need 2 of the men and 1 of the women's. So pick yourselves, first 3 up win. Now, in terms of what you're seeing me do in a moment, it's going to look like a trick and it's look like a magic act up here. This next slide will demonstrate this. So, how many smokestacks do you see up there? Anybody? 3. Okay, how many see at the bottom? Anybody? 4. This artist is actually able to create on paper 3 at the top and 4 at the bottom. How'd you like to be ensuring that property? Well, we start with 4, we get to 3. We don't know how we do it, but you got a great view of the ocean. On paper, this does exist. What you're going to see me do in a moment will look to you as if it's 3 at the top, 4 at the bottom. Your response is going to be, this is impossible, can't be, it's as real as that slide. Let me find out who my sort of volunteers are. Your name is? Jules and Amanda and Tom. So Jules, Amanda, and Tom. What you 3 are going to do is 1 at a time, you're going to be stepping in front of me, facing them. You're going to be sticking your strongest arm out, your thumb turned downward. I'm going to be pressing down on your arm, you're pushing up when I say resist. Tom, let's start with you. So strongest arm out, you're pushing up, I'm pushing down, ready, resist. Okay, put your arm down, Tom. Now, Tom, you felt that as a hard pressure, correct?
Yes.
Oh, that's as hard as the lines get this morning, Tom.
That's good.
Good, yeah, we keep it easy.
Those are rough nights.
Yeah, rough night. We're not going to go there at all, Tom. Now, how many of you have heard of acupuncture? Raise your hands. Everybody. How many of you are familiar with the acupuncture meridian line concept, the meridian lines? Raise your hands. A couple of folks. For those who are not, when an acupuncturist takes a needle and puts it into a person's body, we're not doing that today, Tom.
Wait a minute.
No needles. Yeah. When they do that, what they're attempting to do is stimulate an energy line that runs through the body. That is called a meridian line. I want to demonstrate that these energy lines or meridian lines exist. It's going to look like a trick. It's not. I'll explain in a few minutes what happened. All I'm going to do on Tom, I'm going to take my fingers by his eye. I'm going to run straight down the same side of his body to the foot once. I'm not even touching the body. Eye to the foot all the way down, same side once, not touching. Arm out, thumb down, Tom. You're pushing up. I'm pushing down. Ready, resist. Come on, guy. Ready, resist. Come on, Tom. Ready, resist. Now, I don't want to leave him this way. Let's put him back. Foot back to the eye. Arm out, thumb down. Ready, resist. And Tom, you felt that as the same degree of hard pressure as the first time?
Yes.
Okay, I'll explain in a minute what's happening. You can be seated. Amanda, come on up. Strongest arm out, thumb turned down. When you're pushing up, I'm pushing down. Ready, resist. God, you're stronger than Tom. She's got a 3-month-old, no wonder. Okay. So, Amanda, you felt that as a hard pressure. Okay, so what I'm going to do on Amanda, I'm going to take my fingers by her arm. I'm going to run right across to the belly button once, not even touching the body. Arm to the belly button once across, not touching. Arm out, thumb down, Amanda. You're pushing up, I'm pushing down. Ready, resist. Come on, Amanda. Ready, resist. Now, I don't want to leave her. Well, maybe we do. How many want me to leave her this way? We'll put her back, okay? We put this one back with a massage, actually touching the body, massaging from by the arm to cross the belly button. Arm out, thumb down. Ready, resist. And you felt that as the same degree of hard pressure. Okay, I'll explain to you what is happening. You can be seated. Jules, come on up. Jules, strongest arm out, thumb turned downward. You're pushing up, I'm pushing down. Ready, resist. Okay, put your arm down, Jules. You felt that as a hard pressure? Okay, so what I want to demonstrate now is the power of the mind, the power of positive thinking. How many of you, bottom line, really, really believe in the power of positive thinking? Raise your hands. Super. I want to show you that it absolutely does exist. The kinds of thoughts that you have a very direct, a very immediate effect on your entire energy system. So, Jules, have you ever had a negative day as a leader? No. Okay. You've had negative days. Okay. So what I want you to do is pick a day or situation that's negative. Close your eyes, shake your head when you have that focus, and then I'm going to muscle check your arm again. So arm out, close your eyes, shake it when you have it, and I'll check you. Ready, resist. You're right, it was a disaster on that day. Now, have you had a day as a leader that's very positive, one that just clicked? Okay, so pick one of those. Close your eyes, shake when you have that, and I'll check you. Ready, resist. Now, this time what I want you to do, Jules, I want you to go back to that same negative situation. And what I want you to do is I want you to switch it in your mind and view it positively. Find something about it to view positively, even if it's just, thank God, I'm glad it's over with. Close your eyes, shake when you have it switched, and I'll check you. Ready, resist. Okay, and you can be seated. Let me explain what's been happening up here so far. So on Tom, I ran from his eye to the foot without even touching the body, and I weakened what's known as the stomach acupuncture meridian line. His arm came down. I ran from the foot back to the eye, strengthened the stomach meridian line. His arm stayed up. Then on Amanda, I ran from by her arm across to the belly button without touching the body, and I weakened the spleen meridian line, and her arm came down. I did the massage across there, and I strengthened it, and her arm stayed up. And then on Jules, you saw the power of positive thinking. When you walk around thinking negative thoughts, guess who you're affecting? Yourself. You wind up thinking negative thoughts all day long. That's what you do to your energy system all day long. And if you know people are negative all the time, don't be surprised if they get physically ill quite frequently. What they're doing to their entire energy system, leave it in a very weakened, very susceptible state, literally in walks in illness. Now, how many of you actually manage other folks? Raise your hand if you manage other folks. You are the top of the triangle. The people that you manage are everybody else under you in that triangle. If you view your job negatively, that's the message you're actually sending down to everybody. You're actually creating stress for you and for them. You're reducing productivity, creativity, and effectiveness. There's even been research done looking at the impact of a bad boss. This was a study that was published in the Journal of Occupational Environmental Medicine. It was done in Stockholm, Sweden over a 10-year period. In the study, at the beginning of the study, they had 3,000 men, all in good health. Average age was 42. And at the very beginning of the study, they rated their bosses on 10 behavior measures. This is an example of one of them. My boss gives me the information I need. Either they're going to be rated very highly, all the way down to very poorly about that. And over this 10-year period, 74 of these men had either a heart attack or a cardiac event. Now here's the interesting part. The boss with the lower leadership score moved the workers' risk higher over this 10-year period. And the longer that they worked for this same boss, the higher their risk went to have a heart attack or a cardiac event. Now, you as a manager, being the top of the triangle, if you view your job positively, completely different message goes down. You're reducing your and their stress, you're increasing productivity, creativity, and effectiveness. Now, the very last thing that Jules did is he changed his mind. He took that same negative situation, changed his viewpoint of it, and changed its impact on himself. We have the power to choose every moment of the day our responses. We can choose to view things negatively. What I'm also suggesting is we can choose to view them positively, and we can make that decision as instantly as Jules did up here. Now, I recognize some of you sitting there saying to yourself, this really has to be a trick, that what I really must be doing is just pressing harder one time versus another, just a pressure difference that's going on. Is that running through anybody's mind that it's just a pressure difference? Be honest, raise your hand if that's what you really think it is. Just a pressure difference. Okay, sir, would you come on up, please? What I have here is a device that's actually been developed so we can measure this pressure difference. It's a scale that's upside down. We'll put a pressure at the bottom here. We'll get a readout up here in kilograms of weight. And what's this reading, Matt?
0.
So I set it to 0. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be pressing really hard on your arm, Matt, all the way down to there. Fight me the entire way down. It's the strongest arm out, thumb turned downward. Really fight me now. Ready, resist. Yeah. What are we reading, Matt?
13.5.
So it took 13.5 kilograms of my pressure fighting through his resistance of forces all the way down. I'm going to reset it. What are we reading, Matt?
0.
We're back to 0 again. So I'm just going to run from the arm to the belly button once across, not even touching his body. Arm out, thumb down, Matt, again. Really fight me again. Ready, resist. What are we reading, Matt?
7.3.
Say it louder.
7.3.
7.3. Thank you, Matt. Give him a hand for coming on up. Now, so it's not a pressure difference. It's what's actually taking place within a person's energy system. Now, some of you may be saying, okay, it's not a pressure difference, but maybe it's psychological. The power of suggestion. Somehow I'm giving everybody cues and suggestion what they should be doing up here. Is that running through anybody's mind that it's suggestion taking place and it's okay to raise your hand because I won't call you up? Anybody think it's suggestion going on? So I see a couple of heads and hands, so come on out, Tom. So Tom, to get rid of suggestion, what you're going to do in a moment, you'll have your eyes closed. You'll have no idea which way I'm going, but you folks all will. Now remember, the eye to the foot weakens the stomach meridian line, the foot to the eye strengthens it. You'll know which way I'm going, but Tom won't. You can think of this as unzipping and re-zipping. And don't worry, guy, you're not my type. And for those of you who are saying, it's got to be the hand on the shoulder there, I'm somehow manipulating something, I'm doing the Vulcan death grip, I won't even put my hand there. So Tom, would you agree all this is taking suggestion out of the picture for you? Okay, so arm out, thumb down, close your eyes and keep them closed. Ready, resist. Keep them closed, Tom, arm out. Ready, resist. Keep them closed. Ready, resist. And it's okay, guy, I just put you back. Thank you, Tom. So I ran up twice, down the third time. That's when your arm came down, Tom. It's not psychological. It's what's actually taking place within a person's energy system. I don't want any of you leaving here thinking you're seeing me doing a trick. So what I want to do in a moment is give you all an experience with this so you can self-validate it for yourself. In a moment, you and also the viewers who are watching, if you do have a partner with you, you're going to stand up in a moment. You're going to face a partner. It's easy to do this testing when you're facing each other, this checking. I'm behind the people here because it's easier to watch what I'm doing, but it's actually easier to do when you're facing each other. Stand up, face a partner, and wait for me. And viewers, you can also have, if you have a partner, stand up also. Here's the instructions. Partner being checked first. What they're going to do in a moment, they'll be sticking their strongest arm out, their thumb turned downward, and all you're attempting to do is to just measure their level of resistance. You're not attempting to whack their arm all the way down. If you did, that means you push through their ability to resist anything at all. This is a measurement, folks. It's not just brute force. Folks, anywhere from here down to here is fine. If you physically push the arm further, a couple of inches down, that means you did it too hard. Do it again, immediately staying within this first couple of inches. So partner being checked first will now stick their strongest arm out, thumb turned downward. Partner doing the checking, keep your face neutral, no smile, no frown. Face each other, it's easy to do that way. Place one hand on their opposite shoulder, that's just for support. It keeps them physically level. The other hand right by the wrist bone, right by the wrist bone. Now they're pushing up, you're pushing down, say ready, resist. Steady pressure, not a pump, just steady pressure. Now take your fingers, start by your partner's eye, run straight down the same side of their body, the foot once, all the way down once, not even touching. Arm out, thumb down, hand on the shoulder, other by the wrist, tell them to resist and push down. Surprise! Put them back. Put them back. Foot back to the eye. Foot back to the eye. Arm out. Check them. Make sure they're back. Now check them. Make sure they're back. Now same partner. Same part. Actually, let's do the opposite partner now. Opposite partner puts their strongest arm out, thumb turned downward. You place one hand on their opposite shoulder for support, the other hand right by their wrist bone. They're pushing down, you're pushing up. They're pushing up, you're pushing down. Say ready, resist, steady pressure. Now this time, take your fingers by your partner's arm, by the side of their body where they wear a belt. Run right across from the arm to the belly button, once across. Don't even touch the body. Arm out, thumb down, hand on the shoulder, by the wrist. Tell them to resist and push down. Now put them back with a massage. Actually touch the body. Massage from by the arm across the belly button, and you go, ooh. Arm out, check them, make sure they're back. Check them, make sure they're back. Now, same partner, power of positive thinking in the leadership environment, same partner again. Arm out, thumb down, hand on the shoulder, other by the wrist, have that same partner close their eyes. Think of a negative leadership situation. Have them shake them when they have that thought focused, then tell them to resist and push down. Negative leadership situation. Now, a very positive leadership situation. Close their eyes. Shake the head when they have that focus and check it. Very positive one and check. And now, negative viewed positively. Switch the negative. View it positively, even if it's just, thank God, I'm glad it's over with. Close their eyes, shake them, have a switch and check it. Negative viewed positively and check. And be seated after you've done all of that check.